2020, and we are reading Psalms 6, 7, 8, 9.
Psalms 6, 7, 8, and 9. And
Proverbs chapter 20 to 30.
Proverbs chapter 1, verses 20 through 33. And we still have the Stegman kiddos because there's a big, huge storm that's kept their parents, and we're recording early. And what's today's? What are we we're recording for Sunday.
Yeah.
And what's that, Nathaniel? What's that?
Their birthdays.
It's their birthdays. So, and how old is Anders?
My brother Anders, he is going to be 5 on January.
The 12th. He's gonna be 5 years old. And how about Matthew?
11.
11 years old. And then the day after that, we have another birthday coming up, which is Gabriel. And you will be how old?
9.
Okay, and we'll celebrate you on Mondays. All right, so y'all ready?
Yeah.
You have your books?
Yeah.
Chapter 6. A cry for healing. For the pure and shiny one. A song from the end, sung for the new day by King David. No, Lord, don't condemn me. Don't push me into your fiery anger. Please deal gently with me, Yahweh. Show me mercy, for I'm sick and frail. I'm fading away with weakness. Heal me, for I'm falling apart. How long until you take away this pain in my body and in my soul? Lord, I'm trembling in fear. Yahweh, return to me and deliver my life, because you know your faithful love, because I know your faithful love is toward me. How can I be any good to you dead? For graveyards sing no songs. In the darkness of death, who remembers you? How could I bring you praise if I'm buried in a tomb? I'm exhausted and worn out with my weeping. I endure weary, sleepless nights, filled with moaning, soaking my pillow with my tears. My eyes of faith won't focus anymore, for sorrow fills my heart. There are so many enemies who come against me. Go away, leave me, all you troublemakers, for the Lord has turned to listen to my thunderous cry. Yes, Yahweh, my healer, has heard all my pleading and has taken hold of my prayers and answered them all. Now it's my enemies who have been shamed. Terror-stricken, they will turn back again, knowing the bitterness of sudden disgrace. Chapter 7. Song for the Slandered Soul. A passionate song to the Lord, to the tune of Breaking the Curse of Cush, the Benjamite, by King David. Yahweh, my God, I turn aside to hide my soul in you. Save me from all those who pursue and persecute me. There is none to deliver me but you. Don't let my foes fall upon me like fierce lions with teeth bared. Can't you see how they want to rip me to shreds? Lord, my God, if I were doing evil things, that would be different. For then I would be guilty, deserving all of this. If I have wronged someone at peace with me, if I have betrayed a friend, repaying evil for good, or if I have unjustly harmed my enemy, then it would be right for you to let my enemy pursue and overtake me. In fact, let them grind me into the ground. Let them take my life from me and drag my dignity into the dust. Pause in his presence. Now, Lord, let your anger arise against the anger of my enemies. Awaken the fury and stand up for me. Decree that justice be done against my foes. Gather all the people around you. Return to your place on high to preside over them, and once more occupy the throne of judgment. You are the exalted one who judges the people. So vindicate me publicly and restore my honor and integrity. Before all the people declare me innocent, once and for all, in the evil tactics of the wicked. Reward and prosper the cause of the righteous. For you are the righteous God, the soul searcher, who looks deep into every heart to examine the thoughts and motives. God, your wraparound presence is my protection and my defense. You bring victory to all who reach out for you. Righteousness is revealed every time you judge. Because of the strength of your forgiveness, your anger does not break out every day, even though you are a righteous judge. Yet if the wicked do not repent, you will not relent with your wrath, slaying them with your shining sword. You are the conqueror with an arsenal of lethal weapons that you've prepared for them. You have bent and strung your bow, making your judgment arrows shafts of burning fire. Look how the wicked conceive their evil schemes. They go into labor with their lies and give birth to trouble. They dig a pit for others to fall into, not knowing that they will be the very ones who will fall into their own pit of failure. For you, God, will see to it that every pit digger who works to trap and harm others will be trapped and harmed by his own treachery. But I will give all my thanks to you, Lord, for you make everything right in the end. I will sing my highest praise to the God of the highest place. Chapter 8, God's Splendor. For the pure and shining one. Set to the melody of For the Feast of Harvest by King David. Lord, your name is so great and powerful. People everywhere see your splendor. Your glorious majesty streams from the heavens, filling the earth with the fame of your name. You have built a stronghold by the songs of babies. Strength arises up in the chorus of singing children. This kind of praise has the power to shut Satan's mouth. Childlike worship will silence the madness of those who oppose you. Look at the splendor of your skies, your creative genius glowing in the heavens. When I gaze at your moon and your stars mounted like jewels in their settings, I know you are the fascinating artist who fashions it all. But when I look up and see such wonder and workmanship above, I have to ask you this question. Compared to all this cosmic glory, why would you bother with puny mortal man? Or be infatuated with Adam's sons? Yet what honor you have given to men, created only a little lower than Elohim, crowned like kings and queens with glory and magnificence. You have delegated to them mastery over all you have made, making everything subservient to their authority, placing earth itself under the feet of your image bearers. All the created order and every living thing of the earth, sky, and sea, the wildest beasts and all the sea creatures, everything is in submission to Adam's sons. Lord, your name is so great and powerful. People everywhere see your majesty. What glory streams from the heavens, filling the earth with the fame of your name. Chapter 9, Triumphant Thanks. For the pure and shining one, to the tune of The Secrets of the Sun by King David. Lord, I will worship you with extended hands as my whole heart explodes with praise. I will tell everyone everywhere about your wonderful works and how your marvelous miracles exceed expectations. I will jump for joy and shout in triumph as I sing your song and make music for the Most High God. For when you appear, I worship while all of my enemies run in retreat. They stumble and perish before your presence. For you have stood up for my cause and vindicated me when I needed you the most. From your righteous throne, you have given me justice. With a blast of your rebuke, nations are destroyed. You obliterate their names forever and ever. The Lord thundered, and our enemies have been cut off, vanished in everlasting ruins. All their cities have been destroyed, even the memory of them has been erased. But the Lord of eternity, our mighty God, lives and reigns forever. He sits enthroned as king, ready to render his verdicts and judge all with righteousness. He will issue his decrees of judgment, deciding what is right for the entire world, dispensing justice to all. All who are oppressed may come to you as a shelter in the time of trouble, a perfect hiding place. May everyone who knows your mercy be putting their trust in you, for they can count on you for help no matter what. The Lord, O Lord, you will never, no, never neglect those who come to you. Listen, everyone. Sing out your praises to the God who lives and rules within Zion. Tell the world about all the miracles he has done. He tracks down killers and avenges bloodshed, but he will never forget the ones forgotten by others. Hearing every one of their cries for justice. So now, O Lord, don't forget me. Have mercy on me. Take note of how I've been humiliated at the hands of those who hate me. Bring me back again from the brink of the very gates of death. Save me. Bring me to the spiritual gates of Zion, so I can bring you the shout of praise you deserve. For the godless nations get trapped in the very snares they set for others. The hidden trap they set for the weak has snapped shut upon themselves. Guilty. The Lord is famous for this. His justice will punish the wicked. While they are digging a pit for others, they are actually setting the terms for their own judgment. They will fall into their own pit. Consider the truth of this and pause in his presence. Don't forget this. All the wicked will one day fall into the darkness of death's domain and remain there, including the nations that forget God and reject his ways. He will not ignore forever all the needs of the poor, for those in need shall not always be crushed. For those in need shall not always be crushed. Their hopes shall be filled, for God sees it all. Lord, won't you now arise to judge and punish the nations who defy you? Aren't you fed up with their rebellion? Make them tremble in fear before your presence. Place the lawgiver over them. Make them know that they are only puny, frail humans who must give account to you. Pause in his presence. Now we need to go to Proverbs. Y'all ready? You're doing good. Okay, so we have Proverbs 1. 20. Come on. Wisdom's warning. Wisdom's praises are sung in the streets and celebrated far and wide. Yet wisdom's song is not always heard in the halls of higher learning, but in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Its lyrics can always be heard above the din of the crowd. You will hear wisdom's warning as she preaches courageously to those who stop to listen. Foolish ones, how much longer will you cling to your deception? How much longer will you mock wisdom? Cynical scorners who fight the facts. Come back to your senses and be restored to reality. Don't even think about refusing my rebuke. Don't you know that I'm ready to pour out my spirit of wisdom upon you and bring to you the revelation of my words that will make your heart wise? I've called to you over and over, but you refuse to come to me. I've pleaded with you again and again, yet you've turned a deaf ear to my voice. Because you have laughed at my counsel and have insisted on continuing in your stubbornness, I will laugh when your calamity comes and will turn away from you at the time of your disaster. Make a joke of my advice, will you? Then I'll make a joke out of you. When the storm clouds of terror gather over your head, when dread and distress consume you, and your catastrophe comes like a hurricane, you will cry out to me, but I won't answer. Then it will be too late to expect my help. When desperation drives you to search for me, I will be nowhere to be found. Because you have turned up your nose at me and closed your eyes to the facts and refused to worship me in awe, because you scoffed at my wise counsel and laughed at my correction, now you will eat the bitter fruit of your own ways. You've made your own bed, now lie in it. So how do you like that? Like an idiot, you've turned away from me and chosen destruction instead. Your self-satisfied smugness will kill you. But the one who always listens to me will live undisturbed in a heavenly peace. Free from fear, confident and courageous, you will rest unafraid and sheltered from the storms of life. And that's Sunday's reading.